Hello, my name is CJ, and welcome to another one of my monthly manga pickup videos. I have a ton of manga to review, so let's go ahead and get started. Here are my glorious pickups for December 2016 and January 2017. As you can see, I've definitely made up with JoJo this time. I will not let you guys down again. Let's get started with After School Charisma volumes 11 and 12. As I've said before, I really liked the beginning of the series, not so much the end. However, I can safely say now with volumes 11 and 12 that yes, the end definitely is not as good as the beginning. For those who don't know about the series, this is about a high school that is filled with clones of different historical figures, and it's really good. It offers really interesting ethical questions about whether clones are human beings, whether clones should have rights or not. And although I said that I didn't like the end as much as the beginning, I will say that I was pleasantly surprised by the end. It has a really solid conclusion. Yes, I don't think it ended as well as it began, but at the same time, I can't help but appreciate this series. This was a really fun, interesting ride. Again, I thought the conclusion was awesome. It didn't feel like it came out of nowhere. It felt consistent. Yeah, I definitely recommend After School Charisma, especially if you're interested in political drama stories. This is definitely one to check out, and the artwork, as you can clearly see, is just absolutely gorgeous. Next is Attack on Titan Volume 20. I don't really have to say much about this, do I? Attack on Titan is awesome. You know it's awesome. I know it's awesome. It's great. I just feel so bad for anime-only people because with recent developments in the series, now we know a lot of the answers surrounding many of the questions of Attack on Titan, and anime-only people have to just... They're running around in a minefield, just dodging spoilers. I feel so bad for them. Please do not spoil this wonderful series. That being said, Attack on Titan Volume 20, as always, this is a great series. Pick it up if you're a fan. Next is Haikyuu, a sports manga, and this is actually a Patreon reward from one of my Patreon sponsors. Thank you so much, V's World of Manga. V's World of Manga is another YouTube channel that reviews manga. In particular, I really like her video about manga box sets. I myself don't collect manga box sets, so it's really nice to hear from someone who actually does and hear their own opinions about it. I just gotta say right now, if you are a YouTube channel that reviews manga, please post your channels in the comments below. I really want to figure out who you guys are. I want to learn from you. Please share it. I started this channel inspired by another manga channel called NZ Anime Manga, so it's really cool to see other manga channels popping up around YouTube. But that being said, let's get to the review. So Haikyuu is a sports manga. It's about volleyball. It's about a bunch of high schoolers trying to be the very best at volleyball, and I just gotta say, I'm not that big of a sports manga fan, so if you were just to ask my personal opinion about this series, it was alright, it was just an okay experience. However, if you're going to ask my opinion as a teacher, so again, I am a student teacher who teaches junior high students, I love this manga. Seriously, it is so good. I was just so impressed. It's really clean. I wouldn't feel bad at all handing this manga to a junior high student and just saying, enjoy yourself, have fun with it. There's really nothing questionable about it, which is really super rare for shonen manga. I mean, you'd be surprised. Really think about it next time you read a shonen manga. Think about all the things that you're reading. There's, shots of cleavage and, sexual innuendos and graphic violence. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Trust me, I'm not the kind of person to be that stuff is bad, but at the same time, there's so many manga that I can't recommend to kids. This is a really rare exception, at least in volume 1. I don't know about future volumes. So that being said, I highly recommend Haikyuu if you're into sports manga. For sure, definitely check it out. This was a very cool request, V's World of Manga. Again, thank you so much. Next is all of my JoJo. I had no idea how to organize this on my table, so I kind of just clumped it together around here. So first up, I have Phantom Blood. Phantom Blood is, of course, part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I just love Phantom Blood. It's so amazing. I get really upset when people recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and just say, just skip Phantom Blood. It's boring, it's old, it's 30 years old now, and it's so cheesy. Excuse me, if you skip Phantom Blood, you skip Speedwagon, the best character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which, speaking of which, where's Speedwagon? Speedwagon is on none of these covers. He's not even on the back. Look at this. This is a bunch of... No. Where is Speedwagon? Jonathan and Dio are on the backs and the fronts of 2 of these. Who is Bluford? Who is this? No, I'm just kidding. I know who Blueford is. Anyway, again, part 1 is awesome. It's really, really good. And these are probably some of the best quality volumes I've ever seen in manga. I mean, they're just solid hardcover, which is really cool. I think my only problem with them is that they pick up dirt like really easily, like dust and like specks on the ground. Also, it's maybe kind of hard to see in these camera, but they do scuff a little bit. But I mean, other than that, these are perfect. And part 1 is just incredible. It's amazing. I absolutely adore JoJo. And if you think the art's anything like they are on the cover, keep in mind that's the author's like recent art style. It's still got that old school manga feel inside. And speaking of these volumes, I picked up the first volume of Stardust Crusaders back in November, and a few users actually called me out on this because I said I was going to show it in my November video, and I somehow forgot. I actually have all my JoJo volumes on a separate shelf, and I think when I was pulling out the volumes to for my manga collection video, I just somehow forgot about this one, which is a sin. Hirohiko Araki, please forgive me. Anyway, Stardust Crusaders is probably the most famous part of JoJo. Most people know that. I mean, they kind of recognize Jotaro, even if they aren't a JoJo fan. I'm really, really excited for the volume that comes out next month in February, though, because it has my favorite JoJo on there, Joseph, especially. I love Joseph in part 3 in particular. He's just amazing. Stardust Crusaders is really good. Again, this volume's really good. My only complaint is this one is a tiny bit skinnier than most of these volumes. Oh, that's cool. I forgot Star Platinum was on the back. Next is volume 14 of JoJolion, which is the most recent part in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This volume I got at Mitsuya. If you've heard me talk about Mitsuya before, awesome, but if you haven't, Mitsuya is a Japanese marketplace near Chicago, Illinois. Every time I go visit my friend up there, I like to go visit it, and we have lunch there. And then we go into Kinokuniya, which is a bookstore there that sells Japanese merchandise, including Japanese manga volumes. So I went ahead and picked this volume up because this celebrates the 30th anniversary of JoJo. I thought that'd be really cool to collect. And it's really cool to see how far Hirohiko Araki's art style really has come. I mean, the facial recognition software in my camera is going nuts over Josuke's face. Yeah, JoJo's just awesome. And finally, we have Rohan at the Louvre, or Rohan at the Louvre, depending on how you pronounce that. It's kind of different for different regions of the world. So a lot of people, including myself, get kind of confused as to why this volume in particular has been published, but nothing else from part 4. This is actually from a collection of comics about the Louvre, and it just so happens that whoever the publishing company of this is could publish this in the States on its own. So this is Rohan's first appearance ever in American publishing. That's cool. That's awesome. I mean, Rohan's one of my favorite characters, so that's awesome. But this story in particular is probably one of the best Rohan side stories. I like one slightly more than this one, but it's still really, really good. I just feel so bad for non-JoJo fans who pick this up thinking it's some kind of like original story, because although it's not impossible to understand if you're not a JoJo fan, there's certain things like Rohan's stand and stuff that come up in it that I feel so bad for people. They must get so confused. This is a really, really pretty volume though. I'm so glad I have it. It feels like an art book even though it isn't. It's just a story. It's really cool. And if you didn't notice before, all of the pages are in beautiful color. Kind of plain color, but color nonetheless. I'm trying so hard not to spoil much. But yeah, there you go. Rohan at the Louvre. Very, very cool. Next we have this cute little book in... What is this? Left to right. Yes, that's right. This is a manhwa, not a manga, which means that this is a comic made in South Korea. This was a Christmas present from my good friend Kai. Thank you so much, Kai. This is so cute. Look at that cute little cat's face. This is a collection of slightly connected short stories, all featuring this cute little cat as the main character who kind of leads us in and kind of acts as an audience surrogate for the reader. This collection of stories is really, really cute. I am eagerly looking forward to getting the next volume. It's so pretty too. I mean, just like look at this art. This art is gorgeous. It's a really trippy experience too. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason in these stories, but I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you again so much, Kai. This is just adorable. Next we have One Punch! One Punch Man is, as I've said time and time again, an amazing series. This volume 10, features Tornado, and so Tornado's she's supposed to be an adult. She's drawn very, very odd. This is kind of a weird cover. I like her much better when she's drawn in the original webcomic style. That's much better. Again, One Punch Man is amazing. It has some of the best action in shonen manga right now. Again, this is the redrawn version, so the new version with updated art by Murata, who did the art for a series called Eyeshield 21, which is an excellent series. Highly, highly recommend One Punch Man if somehow you still have not checked it out by now. Next is 2 volumes 1 and 2, from a series called Yona of the Dawn, and I know somebody recommended this to me on my YouTube channel. I can't remember who, but I saw this series on Amazon. These volumes were $5 a piece. I could not miss out on picking them up, because I've heard a lot of really good things, not only from people on my YouTube channel, but from people in real life about this series, so okay, I picked it up. Here's the thing. I appreciate this series. I can see why people like it. It's pretty good. I liked the art. I think the story, especially, like, it's kind of interesting for like a shoujo-ish story to have elements of politics, but this is a very like politically heavy story. There's a lot of dialogue between characters about like succession and whether or not they're worthy of the throne, etc., etc. I can tell this is going to be one of those stories where the main character grows into a character that is worthy of respect by her peers. But in the first volume, she's kind of a pretty princess. She kind of sits around looking frail. She actually kind of reminds me of like Bella from Twilight. But by the second volume, you can tell she's becoming a much stronger character. I may look into the next few volumes to see how this series grows. But for now, I'll just say it's not for me. It's definitely not for me. But I can tell why a lot of people like this. This was an interesting read. And finally, we have the Blu-ray disc of The Edge of Tomorrow, or I guess as this volume tries to describe it, Live, Die, Repeat. I don't know why The Edge of Tomorrow is down there. For those who don't know, this is a movie adaptation of the light novel All You Need Is Kill. I haven't read the light novel. I read the manga adaptation. The manga adaptation is so good. It is crazy good. But I, in particular, really like this movie, and I feel like it's especially important to like focus back on not only this movie, but other anime, manga, light novel-ish works that have succeeded. Like, this has a different ending from the light novel, and some of the characters, all of the characters have been whitewashed, but at the same time, there's this weird level of respect that went into the movie. Like, you can really tell that they respect the source material. And I absolutely loved it. It was such a cool ride. I'm really hoping that Ghost in the Shell does something similar to what this movie did, in which, and by Ghost in the Shell, I mean the new Ghost in the Shell movie adaptation, in which I hope they don't either try too hard to maintain the feel of the original movie, the original animated movie that is, or take it way too far in the opposite direction and make something that's unrecognizably Ghost in the Shell. Please, Hollywood, learn from this movie. If you're going to do an anime and manga adaptation, do it right. Thank you so much for watching my video. A special thank you, of course, as always, to my Patreon supporters, and a very, very special thank you to a user called Saints Sister 47 who did this adorable fan art of me dressed as a Team Skull member with Mimikyu. I mean, look at that! That is so cute! I had mentioned my disappointment in a previous video that you couldn't join Team Skull in Pokemon Moon, but you made my dream come true. Thank you so much! For those who may be curious, yes, I am planning on reviewing Sailor Moon Crystal Season 4 on YouTube like I did with Season 3. Toei Animation is really cleaning up their act, so I'm super excited to see what they have to bring to the table for Season 4. And speaking of Sailor Moon, yes, I did see Sailor Moon R in theaters. It was a great time, especially because the group I went with had 2 people who had never seen Sailor Moon before, and it was hilarious to see the reactions. I'm telling you one thing, I am always going to be a Sailor Moon fan. I mean, absolutely always. I still order this, like, junk. I mean, look at this. There's, like, there's no support for these characters inside of this Petite Chara box. Sailor Moon just keeps destroying my life, and I just keep giving it opportunities to keep doing so. I swear. But anyway, thank you once again for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And until next time, this is CJ signing off.